Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? Are you seriously serious? Something biblical's going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. There's no doubt about that. And we have, how high's the water, Mama? Well, it's about 20 feet and rising, and we'll tell you about what's going on in Iowa. But first, let's put a quick shout out for www.easysummercool.com. Boy, you need this. www.easysummercool.com, and you can get 60% off now and free shipping if you click on the link below in this video. Sweltering heat, record high temperatures, and very costly energy bills, they're all happening now. And unfortunately, many households won't be able to keep up. 34 million households reported difficulty in paying their energy bills or keeping their houses at an unsafe temperature just to an attempt to keep the lights on. This is why I'm going to prepare for the heat with the help of this little amazing unit. And I mean, this is so amazing. This it's incredible. EasySummerCool.com. This little device, I'm able to keep wherever I'm at, like right here on my desk where I'm working here in my office, or on the nightstand by my bed, blowing ice cold air over me. It feels so good. I don't know about you, but I really like to sleep when it's cool. This is absolutely perfect. Make yourself happy and cool this summer. Beat the heat. Go to www.easysummercool.com. That's www.easysummercool.com. And we're hearing from people who are getting it, and they're saying it's incredible. They love it on their desk when they're working. People who work from home, or people who just go to their, or people watching Paul Begley YouTube videos, like to have that cool air blowing over them. It does feel good. So check it out. All right, now, guys, let me just say quickly, it's incredible what's going on. We just covered the wildfires that are going on, global fires, plant explosions, things that are happening all over the world. Now we have to take a look at the floodwaters that are raging all over the world. Okay? And Northwest Iowa residents had to be evacuated because of the flooding, according to Governor Kim Reynolds, has declared a disaster area. And you can see the picture behind me is this picture right here. It's just unbelievable. And they tried to put up some police tape across that fence to prevent crime, or actually a crime scene already happened, looting going on in Iowa, but that didn't work. The water just kept rising. Days and days of heavy rainfall, all of April, May, and into June, have pushed the rivers to record levels across northwest Iowa, shutting down utilities, the power grid in several cities, and forcing massive evacuations. Governor Kim Reynolds issued a disaster declaration on Saturday for 21 counties in the state of Iowa. And the Iowa State Patrol and the Iowa 511 have warned against travel there because of massive flooded roads and dangers. The most dramatic situation may have been in Rock Valley, where as much as 15 inches of upstream rain over a 72-hour period sent the Rock River surging to record high 27 feet. What? That is 5 feet over the previous all-time record. It's 8 feet above major flood stage. It's 19 feet right now, according to the National Water Prediction Service. This is by far the greatest, highest floodwaters ever in the state of Iowa. A levee failed. City has sounded warnings, and you may have seen it, where the dams are breaking, the big levee that broke. I saw that. That happened Saturday, but it's continuing. More extensive flooding. It's way higher than anyone anticipated. They're telling residents north of Highway 18 to evacuate. State troopers have blocked the roads into the cities to all but local residents, and that's not safe. And the city said on its Facebook page that people were being brought out by boats because the water current and the height of the water was unimpassable. It was impassable and rendered the use of any vehicles. That's impossible to drive out of there now. According to Sioux City, in Sioux City, Mayor Kevin Van Otterloo has been saying aerial rescues are also underway. We've got National Guard helicopters coming in where people are on their roofs, literally on their roofs or the second floor because the first floor is completely underwater. We have houses being washed away from their foundations. And the Sioux City Sheriff's Facebook page said evacuations also were underway in Harwindon and in Big Sioux River, which likewise experienced record flooding. And the city of Akron, Iowa, just downstream, was warning residents, prepare to leave. It's coming. How high's the water, mama? 27 feet and high and rising. And the National Weather Service in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is posting now a storm watcher report of some evacuations in Spencer, South Dakota. In Rock Valley and other cities across the region, the high water has backed up the sewage systems. Sludge and sewage is now floating down the streets and into some of the first floor homes and residents, and it's caused, and they're asking people to just stop turning their water on. Don't even use it. Water is shut off. We can't restore it. There's also reports of power outages. People without power, and there's still going to be heat. Governor Kim Reynolds said that the Iowa Emergency Operations Center had opened to deal with the flooding, which also was reported in Sioux City and Sioux Center and Hull and in Sanborn and Spirit Lake and Arnold's Park, according to the National Weather Service. River managers were struggling to contain the flooding, which also affected southeastern South Dakota and southwestern Minnesota. In response to the rainfall, which has exceeded 600% of normal over the past 24 hours, we will lower releases today at Fort Randall and Gavins Point dams, trying to prevent the dams from breaking, according to John Remus, who's the chief of the Missouri River Basin Water Management Division. And while the decreased releases are expected to bring lower downstream river stages, they cannot offset all the flooding in the Sioux City area. And so it is a disaster of biblical proportion. And I'm not joking when I say that. It is apocalyptic surge that has hit the state of Iowa. And so once again, April and May, all those tornadoes and all that excessive rain and storms and lightning and hailstorm. And then here comes the massive more rain in the middle of June, and then floodwaters are raging and it's out of control. But wait, there's more, because in Bangladesh, there are so much rain that landslides has now killed 9 people as Bangladesh is lashed by rain. Torrential rains in Bangladesh has triggered landslides, burying people alive, at least 9 people, and forcing thousands to flee to the higher ground, according to police and government officials in the low-lying nation of Bangladesh. Schools have been turned into shelters for those abandoning their homes to the rising river waters, while more than 1 million people have been stranded in northern areas. Bangladesh is a nation of 170 million people and is among the countries most vulnerable to disasters and climate change, according to the Global Climate Risk Index. The annual monsoon rains. We've had blood moons. We've had monsoons. There's going to be more typhoons and pontoons and baboons. And Jesus is coming soon is what I'm trying to say. The annual monsoon rains could cause widespread destruction every year, but experts say that climate change is shifting and weather patterns and increasing the number of extreme weather events. At least 700,000 people have been stranded by flash floods and heavy rains in Bangladesh. Another 500,000 people in neighboring districts in Bangladesh. And so pray, folks. People are being swept away by the raging waters or being buried alive under the landslides and the mud. But wait, there's more. 3 people are now missing in a landslide in the Swiss Alps as heavy rains has caused massive flash flooding in Switzerland. 3 people are missing after a massive thunderstorm and rainfall that hit Saturday in southeastern Switzerland, causing a landslide, according to authorities. 1 woman was pulled out alive after being buried by the landslide in the Alpine Valley. A rescue operation for 3 others is still ongoing. The rock slide hit a group of houses in Lostallo, Switzerland. Rescuers have been searching all day with excavators and specially trained search dogs. And the Swiss police are there, rescue and fire. And it's just a total mess. And so we have 3. And here's some of again, when you say landslides, sometimes people think of just rock slides and the earth moving. But no, it can be flood waters and raging muddy water, a muddy land that, as you're seeing there, that can take down homes and wipe out communities. And so it's happening right now in the Swiss Alps. But while that's going on, 8 people are missing after a massive landslide and rain-drenched China. This happened also Saturday and Sunday. 8 people are missing after a landslide in central China's Hunan province took place early Sunday morning, late night Saturday night. The landslide happened in Duzai village, according to authorities. It happened around 4 a.m. early Sunday morning. It led to the collapse of 4 houses, according to reports. All other people at the site have been relocated to safe areas, but 8 people are missing under the rubble. Heavy downpours or rainstorms have hit several different Chinese cities that I am not even going to attempt to try to pronounce them because I'd probably pronounce all 8 of them wrong. But it's bad. And I could have used Google Translate, and I could have taught myself these words, but that would have taken an extra hour, and then I would have forgot them when I did it. So are you serious? And what I'm trying to say is it's bad out there. It's rain is falling, okay? And the mud. And they're trying to dig out, and then there's pictures right there. That's from China, from this situation, where 8 people are missing. Again, apocalyptic situations breaking out everywhere, whether it be wildfires burning or it be landslides and floodwaters raging. And if Afghanistan, a landslide kills 7 there. That happened yesterday. At least 7 people have been confirmed dead as a landslide struck a village in East Afghanistan, according to the state-run media there. The natural disaster happened late Sunday into the early Monday morning there in Afghanistan. People in the remote areas of Afghanistan mostly inhabit mud houses anyway. They live in these mud homes, And so when there's a natural disaster, which can be just heavy snowfall, heavy rain, downpour, earthquakes, any of these kinds of things can just wipe out villages because of the structural homes they live in, and it's very difficult for these people. And you have to understand this is a very, 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 very impoverished area in dangerous, volatile areas that lack tons of infrastructure, if any infrastructure, living in mud huts and that kind of thing. You just have to pour your heart out for these people and pray for them. But so these are some of the things that are happening. I keep thinking about it, saying, Lord, the planet is the planet. The planet's always had, storms of different types throughout history. We know that since God created all things. But it seems as if we've come to a point now where the things that are happening are supernatural. And they're happening, in areas or at times that you least expect it now. Everything seems to be suddenly, and it's very concerning, very, very concerning. And so we're keeping our eyes open on all this, whether it be, no matter what it is that's going on, whether it be floods or fire or rain or tornadoes or hurricanes or hailstorms or lightning strikes or mudslides or landslides or, pandemics. And there's a bunch of stuff going on. I haven't even talked to you about that. If you just knew how many disease outbreaks are going on right now, it'd blow your mind. And maybe I got to do a video just on that, just so you can get a comprehension of what's really going on here. It's really unbelievable. The earth can shake, the sky come down, the mountains all fall to the ground, but I will fear none of those things. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Dark waters rise, the thunder pounds, the wheels of war are going round, and all the walls are crumbling. Shelter me, Lord. Psalms 91. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your heart. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. The wind will blow, the rain can pour. Oh, that's right. The deluge break, the tempest roars, but in that storm, my spirit sings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. We have more breaking news on that dam in Minnesota. Thank you so much. I'll tell you in just a moment. Something biblical's going on. Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your heart. Thank you, Livewire. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. Now on that day, you call for me. Someday when time no more shall be, and I say, death, where is your sting? Oh, yes. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. I'm going to tell you about the Minnesota Dam in just a moment. I got pictures. Going to show you. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Patricia. Renee, thank you. Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your Are you serious?
Now on that day, you call for me. Someday when time no more shall be. Well, I say, death, where is your sting? Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings.
Oh, that's right. That's so right. Unbelievable. Psalms 91. Boy, you see, this is why you got to know these scriptures, because you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's coming. But certainly the world is shaking and quaking. The devil's back is breaking. The floodwaters are raging. And here it is. Thank you, Livewire, for giving me that quick heads up there. I knew this dam was bad. As a matter of fact, I think I mentioned that there was some dams about ready to go, but here it is. This is a dam in Minnesota. Aerial images show the raging water flowing around the Rapin Dam in southern Minnesota. And there you see it. The dam is, it's gone. Basically, it's useless. The dam is still there, but the water's so much, it's just carving a way around it because it's excessive. It's outrageous. And the dam is going to be it's basically useless at this point. It happened this morning, about 2 hours ago. It showed the strong, where it's really increased. It was already happening, but it really broke loose this morning. According to the Blue Earth County Sheriff's Department, says debris has started accumulating on Sunday at the dam. We were worried the 114-year-old structure located 10 miles southwest of Mankato was in imminent failure condition. And this morning, the dam, which is still intact, but there's no way to, it's useless, basically. Officials said that there have been a partial failure, but now it's a complete failure. The river has carved a way around and the dam and is diverted around the dam, causing massive erosion. The homes are at risk of being swallowed by the raging river waters, with the east side of the house hanging over a cliff. I'll show you that in a minute, but there you see the dam, raging waters. Here's another picture showing you the dam, basically useless. There's no way to stop this. This was never, ever, this dam was never intended to handle this much water. This is Minnesota. This ain't even Iowa. This is Minnesota. Now here you see, here's a house. It's a little dark, but this house is hanging on the edge of the cliff of the raging new carved out around the dam. So I doubt that house survives. Now, in 1972, the Historical Society said the county board ruled that the dam should either be rebuilt or torn down. This was 1972. It was recommended, since the dam would cause considerable damage to surrounding areas if this thing ever collapsed. But they decided not to rebuild it or tear it down. They did decide to use concrete reinforcements in 1980. Matter of fact, then again, they did some more pouring concrete in 1986. But they never ever anticipated this to happen. And so Minnesota now, underwater in the southern part of Minnesota, the water raging from the breaking of the dam. This is all from all this water and all this rain that we've been talking about. And so, again, it's not just Iowa. It's not just Minnesota, but it's globally in Bangladesh, in all these other countries. This is happening. Now, if you remember, we're going to be talking about water events. Mike has been telling us, look out, there's going to be some water events coming. And then, but also coastal flooding is coming. And that's because of the pole shifts. Now, if you did not watch our webinar we did on pole shifts, you can still get the tickets. You can go to our website right now and get your ticket, and we'll send you the link, and you'll be able to watch it. Start watching it today. It was an incredible webinar, so informative by all these great speakers. And so you'll want to, if you haven't got that, you'll want to get it and watch it. And because the pole shift that is in process, is causing not only this massive heat, but it's also going to cause coastal flooding. And it's already, you can see the effects of it here in America this year with the insane heat in the early June in the Midwest and in the Northeast. We never even heard of such stuff. And then the incredible rain after the solar eclipse. Remember, we talked about it in my book, Revelation 9:11. We talked about the solar eclipses and the, that what was going to happen would be that New Madrid fault line. And remember what we said, that in 1811, there was a partial blood moon 2 weeks before a total solar eclipse that went right through the New Madrid fault line area, just like this one. And then in December 16th of that same year, 1811, 3 mega quakes hit in December, over 8. And then 1 mega quake in January of 1812. And then finally, the biggest one of all, the 5th mega quake in February of 1812. Now, here it is. That was 1811, 1812. Now we're in 2024. We had our total solar eclipse. But before we had the total solar eclipse, we had a partial blood moon 2 weeks before the total solar eclipse. And then after the total solar eclipse, we've started to see unbelievable. I mean, just like the next week, the rain and the storms and the tornadoes kept going right up this New Madrid fault line, dumping rain, tornadoes, lightning strikes, hailstones bigger than your hand. There's some hailstones that weighed 6 pounds. That's insanity. And it's all taking place. And we talked about that in the book, Revelation 9:11. Maybe I should just pull that. Yeah, if you got the book, good. And if you haven't got the book, get it. Go to Amazon.com. Be a good place to get it real fast. If you haven't left a review of the book, those of you who have got it, go over there and leave a review. It's really helping. I'm trying to see, where is that at? I have a chapter on this. And, I can't remember. I mean, it's just too much information coming at me too fast. You say, Paul, how could you write a book and not remember which chapter? Easy. Are you serious? I mean, it's in crazy. Okay, it's chapter, yeah. Is that it? Yeah, chapter 9. Okay, so let me just go over there real fast. Page 123. And I'll just read just a little bit of this because we talked about what this could mean. These signs in the heavens, and what I'm saying, and so New Madrid earthquake hasn't happened, but the storms, the New Madrid, now listen, because there wasn't an earthquake at the New Madrid fault line in 1811 for 90 days after the solar eclipse before it started happening, okay? For this time, 200 some years later, here we are this year, we have the partial blood moon, and then we have the total solar eclipse that goes right through the New Madrid path, hitting those 7 cities of Nineveh and 1 city of Jonah, Texas. And then what starts happening? Rain, storms, tornadoes, all of April and all of May, and the rain, and then now the rain to the point that Iowa and Minnesota can't handle it, and that water's still coming down. It's got to make its way down. Eventually going to be, the Mississippi, eventually these rivers on down the line are going to experience incredible amounts of water. And so look out. So here's what we wrote in, and I'm just going to read just a little bit, just because it's just too long. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but the Lord's saying it has to do with Israel too, about the whole world coming against Israel and bringing them down to the river of down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, because people are trying to part the land. Okay. I'll start reading here. Today, the world is being rocked by volcanoes erupting both on land and under the sea, massive tornadoes, hailstones, unprecedented wildfires, hurricanes, record-setting droughts and heat waves, gigantic solar flares, and geomagnetic storms that threaten to knock out the electrical grid. People worldwide are asking whether these are signs of the end times. Many are curious about the prophetic significance of what is known as the Great North American Eclipse, which took place, of course, on April 8th, 2024, just 4 days after we released this book, and 7 years after it was dubbed the Great American Eclipse on August 21st, 2017. The path of these total solar eclipses form a large X over America, centered close to Carbondale, Illinois, in the area known as Little Egypt. Okay? God made it very crystal clear in the Bible that any nation that divides the land of Israel will be facing judgment. Now we read on. It says, I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will enter into judgment with them there on account of my people, my heritage Israel, whom they've scattered among the nations, and they've also divided up my land. These faith leaders are concerned that the eclipse could signal a major war involving the United States, the eruption of large earthquakes along the New Madrid fault line or San Andreas or other fault lines, or another major pandemic or other catastrophes. Meanwhile, many are asking whether the Apophis asteroid that's coming, is this the biblical wormwood described in Revelation 8:11? They want to know how likely it is to strike the earth on April 13, 2029, as has been predicted. And many also wonder if what NASA calls the hypothetical Planet X or Planet 9 will impact our world in the years ahead. So we go on and talk about Apophis and Planet X and all of that. Guys, you want to get the book Revelation 9:11. So I want to read just one passage of Scripture, and then I've got to come back with another video because of things that are happening in Israel right now. And then I've also got stuff going on right now in rioting and protesting around the globe. I think that'll have to be another video, so just hang with me. But let me just read this. This is Psalms 124. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us, and the stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, who hath not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers, and the snare is broken, and we've escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. In other words, even though all these apocalyptic signs and things that are happening are taking place around the globe, we have an assurance, a blessed assurance. Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of his glory divine. Heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of his Spirit, washed in his blood. This is my story. This is my song. I'm praising my Savior all the day long. This is my story. This is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. I'll be back, guys. Give your life to Jesus Christ. He's coming, and I'm ready. Are you? Are you saved?